Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Red-Rupee here. Welcome back to another episode of FitzRupee Cast featuring DoW2 Retribution. For those of you that were asking, followers of my Facebook or Twitter feed, I did post some interesting shots from Keltos' Elite mod the other day, and people were asking if I'm going to cast any games from that. And I will be doing that soon, so stay tuned for that. And for those of you that don't follow my Facebook or Twitter feed, consider checking that out. I do post pictures and replays up there, of course, and whatever I can about DoW2. I will also be doing, probably in the next few weeks, another DLC giveaway. I haven't done one of those since last winter, so I figured summertime's a good time. Steam's doing its summer sale. I figure I may as well hang out and have some fun with that as well. So any of you that have been looking for some new fancy armor skins, or maybe some last stand gear that you haven't been willing to part with those various little chunks of change for, hop onto those feeds and maybe you'll come out lucky with something extra. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started here. We can see we're on the long, dark, stretched out map of Judgment of Carrion here. We've got two top tier players. We've got Mr. Texaneous down here as the Chaos Sorcerer, currently under the name I Play for Fun, I Suck. And LittleHorus over here, very solid Space Marine player, playing the Force Commander. So let's go ahead and take a look around the map. As you can see down here, it's just very long and narrow. As Space Marine, I don't actually particularly like this map. It's just three very distinct engagement zones, and it's kind of hard as Space Marine because you want to generally stick your forces together because that's when you're strongest to really keep charge of the map here. But anyways, we've got power on either side of the bases, and then VP's out way on the edge. And Texaneous is not in the game yet. He did mention when he sent me this replay that he was taking care of his kids at the moment when this game started. So, being the big family man he is, he started up a little late. But he assured me it's a great game, so I'm going to take his word for it, and let's see how this goes. LittleHorus going straight for the VPs. Doesn't know it yet, but he can cap wherever he wants uncontested because Tex is just now getting out to the field. Hopefully it won't cost him any major faults here in the beginning of the game. Getting himself a squad of Chaos Space Marines right out of the gate, and since he did start late, he'll probably be able to purchase that second one right away. Yep, there he goes, purchasing two and bringing them out onto the field nice and quickly, so he won't have too much of a disadvantage other than losing that early cap. He wasn't going for a quick power build or anything like that. But he is going to be at the VP disadvantage starting up here. LittleHorus also purchasing himself a second squad of Tactical Marines, so we're going to have a pair of melee commanders running around trying to disrupt all these big, heavy range squads. So 2-0 cap already down by about 45 points. Texaneous is going to grab his first VP and try to deter these scouts in the meantime with his Sorcerer. Force Commander getting the runaround between two squads of Chaos Space Marines. One of them hopped in the garrison there, the other one was coming in from behind to cause a little extra damage and force him off of the field nice and early. In the meantime, the Sorcerer's been getting shot up by those scouts, not going to be able to stay in this fight. The Tacs are going to take him down if he's not careful. Tried to get in a quick Doom Blast, luckily got out of there before that shotgun blast went off. That's why those scouts weren't retreating. They were just biding their time while that shotgun upgrade finished and wanted to get a surprise explosive shot there and finish off that Sorcerer. So Tech's not doing too bad. Doesn't have much map. Horus hasn't really built much power though. He did go for that kind of wreck intensive build of the two Tacs right out of the gate. So that's probably actually very much in Tech's favor because he won't be very behind on the power as far as that goes, and the tech race will kind of remain even here so far. Anyways, LittleHorus kind of jumped in there, some brazen Tactical Marines going against two squads of Chaos Marines, and lost themselves one of their members. Had to fall back. Not a major loss, but you really want to limit, especially when you're going in this battle, two squads of Space Marines against each other. You really need to limit your model losses. Oh, and there goes one for Tex, evening at that out. I hate this little girder right here. It's kind of right in the middle of everything whenever you're trying to watch these battles. And I tend to click on it a lot of times when I'm trying to move around. Anyways, Tex looks like he's finally going to be able to... Oh, no! Just as I was saying, he's going to get a point off the Force Commander decap this point off, so sticking at 500 VPs. Oh, and here we go. A nice little play. I love to see this. You get that Devastator out on the field and try to beguile your opponent into coming into this kind of cloaked area where he assumes that you just have maybe 1 or 2 squads of tactical Chaos Marines here. But that Havoc would have been an unpleasant surprise had those tactical Marines taken the bait. Luckily, the Force Commander coming in from behind, I'm not sure if he's seen that Devastator yet not. I think he's close enough that he's seen it because it looks like he's clearly trying to flank here. LittleHorus trying to get a good position, realizing he's not going to get that Force Commander in time, and doesn't want to risk being in that firing arc. So Tech's doing a good job of locking down the center here. Really neither player having much in the way of power down, and both of them going very heavy tier 1s. I'm not sure if that's maybe LittleHorus just trying a different build knowing the Tech started late, or just going for a heavy tier 1 in general against this Chaos build. Using the Assault Marines to lead that charge, knocking over the Havoc squad. Force Commander charging in, not going to let that set back up, and the Assault Marines chop up one of those Chaos Space Marines on the way out. Force Commander going a bit too close to that base. There he goes. I wasn't sure if he was going to pull out in time. Scouts harassing Tech's only power node right now. And in the meantime, Horus got himself a generator up. Heretic's doing a great job trying to finish off that node, but didn't quite get it before the assaults came in. Sorcerer letting loose a Doom Blast on these tactical Marines down here. Taking one of them down pretty low, but gonna have to get out of there. Not gonna be able to stand up to both of those on his own. Tech's actually getting himself, this is 3 Chaos Space Marines on the field now, so we're gonna have to see if this works out or not. That's a lot of range damage. And Horus doesn't have too much to deal with that really. He has his 2 squads of Space Marines, but so long as he Tex utilizes this Havoc well enough, Horus just now finally has a full generator farm. So without that tech advantage, this heavy tier 1 may actually pay off very well for Texaneous. Looks like the Sorcerer getting himself the Vestments of the Warp, which of course gives him the teleport ability. Very useful, makes the Sorcerer very disruptive, especially when you're fighting a ranged intensive army, like 2 squads attacks, anything like that. Very useful to just be able to negate that ranged approach and get right in there and start causing some melee damage. So Heretics running around trying to harass these scouts. It looks like they've recently used their explosive shots, so they're not going to be able to force those off. Good Havoc placement. Those Assault Marines don't quite have the energy to get their second jump in right now. I'm not sure if they're going to engage that or jump down on the Chaos Space Marine. They choose to go for the Havoc. This TAC squad looks like it might lose a member. It's very low. Havoc loses 1 member. Tactical Marines taking lots of fire, but it looks like they're actually going to get out of there, believe it or not. Despite having only 150 HP, all 3 members are standing. Assault Marines taking a little bit of fire from that Havoc, so they're going to be injured for the next engagement. And LittleHorus heading into tier 2 now. Tech's still pretty far behind. Only has 2 generators up. Not going to be getting to tier 2 right away. So he'll probably be hitting that just as LittleHorus completes his tech. We'll have to see if Horus brings out some early tier 2 tech to really bring the hurt. A Librarian or a Razorback, either of those could do some pretty severe damage right here, as Tech's primary force is just a big pile of Chaos Space Marines, and a well-timed smite could really turn any battle in his favor and force Tex off the field. So in the meantime, Sorcerer trying to run around, getting in on these scouts. They do have the shotgun, gonna deter him for a little while. They'll probably have to hop inside that garrison. Yeah, that's exactly what they're running for. In the meantime, Force Commander looks like he's activated his battle cry and just throwing Heretics to the floor left and right. Unfortunately, they have some reinforcements coming on the field in the form of 6 Chaos Space Marines, and he's just not going to be able to stand for that. But he did tag himself a few Heretic kills, so not too bad there. Unfortunately, looks like Tex lost himself 2 of his Havoc members over there. Tactical Marines getting the Sergeant on 1 squad, And now Sergeant on the second. LittleHorus using his tier 2 to just get some extra firepower on the field for the squads he already has. Not sure if that's the best option for what he's got on the field. I really feel like he should have purchased a tier 2 unit to come onto the field right here. Sarge also on the Assault Space Marine, so 3 Sergeants is what LittleHorus has gone for. That's 75 power. Really, we'll have to see if that's an egregious choice or not, because I feel like he really should have taken advantage of his tech lead with Texaneous just halfway to tier 2 so far. Anyways, believe it or not, Texaneous actually up by about 100 VPs so far, and that's kind of what I was talking about. I feel like as Space Marine, it's just hard to keep all these VPs in your control in between these battles. Generally a very slow army, and the scouts really just can't stand up to any of the chaos capping squads or otherwise. So it's kind of just hard to keep control of that. No really sneaky pass for the scouts to take on this map. It's just very narrow, very straightforward. Anyways, Tex once again getting rocked by some Assault Space Marines there, deciding not to finish that battle. Assaults were about at half HP, and that's really when you want to pull out. You don't want to start losing Assault Space Marines. They're just crazy expensive, and it could hurt you real bad if you start losing models on those. LittleHorus stockpiling all kinds of resource. I'm not sure what he's planning to buy here. Maybe getting himself a Dreadnought, which I think he just passed the threshold for, but not purchasing it yet, maybe distracted with the battle at hand. Charging in on these heretics, which are trying desperately to keep that power back. I'm not sure if Tex is seeing that. Oh no, that Havoc might not be getting out of there. 50 HP left, taking a lot of fire. Looks like he'll sneak around that corner just in time with about 10 HP. Look at one Assault Space Marine way out here. Falls down after taking some focus fire. That was odd. Didn't want to go back to base. Was ready to lead the charge. A bit too brazen for his own good. So a lot of warpfire. That was a bit of warpfire going down on those scouts, just trying to delay that requisition from getting recaptured. One squad of Tactical Marines against 3 squads of Chaos Space Marines. The second's coming in, but the first one's already taken so much damage. Heretics coming in as well. Those Tactical Marines are going to be in a lot of trouble if those Heretics manage to get into melee. They spot it too and have to retreat. One member did go down. Heretics trying to get a Doom Blast and take out the West. I'm not sure why all of those retreated right there. Tex probably could have stayed on the field. Still has about a 100-point VP advantage, but a 2-to-1 against him right now. This is one of those maps where it's opposite colors on opposite sides. You see on the minimap, red's on the left and blue is on the left up top. Always a bit confusing for me, but no big deal. Tex floating, tons of requisition. Meanwhile, LittleHorus didn't get himself a big tier 2 unit at all. He's going straight for tier 3. Tex trying to get this power. I'm sure he'll pop those generators as soon as he can capture that, because he does have plenty of spare requisition right now. And purchasing himself a Chaos Dreadnought, which will be probably a great choice, because LittleHorus will either be going for some sort of tier 3 vehicle, or actually it looks like Force Commander's getting himself some Terminator armor already. So that's going to be Horus's first purchase. But again, I feel like an advanced tech unit would be much more advantageous than just upgrading what he currently has on the field. We're going to have to see how this plays out once again, because LittleHorus, despite being in tier 3, only has tier 1 units on the field.
Your forces obey you.
So Tactical Marines again scaring off that Havoc. That Havoc's been just trying to capture and hold that power node down here, not really being utilized outside of that. And here comes that Terminator Force Commander right now. Chaos Space Marine's been upgraded with the Marcus Cinch right there. First squad has to retreat. Force Commander teleports in, but gets a face full of autocannon from that Chaos Dreadnought. Sorcerer trying to do some good. Gets a nice looking special attack. Knocks over all of those Space Marines, but he's in a lot of trouble. Teleports out just in the nick of time and manages to get out of there. That Dreadnought's going to have to fall back himself too, because there's a lot of Space Marines right there. Not going to really do too much damage. No anti-vehicle on the field, and I'm not sure if he's purchasing any. But, of course, the Force Commander does have a Power Fist. There goes the Melt-A-Bomb as well from the Assault Space Marines, which would have left him stranded out there had he not fallen back earlier. Scouts pushed off some Heretics up top, getting the VP back. 2-0 cap, about to be a 3-0 cap against Texaneous right now. But it looks like, oh man, are all three of the Chaos Space Marine squads upgraded with Siege Bolters now. Those Inferno Bolters do maximum damage to all armor types, really. And can just annihilate any infantry they come from. Even look at the damage those Tactical Marines are taking, even in green cover. A nice use of Warp Fire right there. That Rod of Warp Fire can knock units out of cover, out of that green cover, and cause them to take tons of damage. And LittleHorus just allowing Texaneous to go this super concentrated anti-infantry build right now. 3 squads of Siege Chaos Marines is nothing to mess around with. They can pretty much wipe out any ranged squad in the blink of an eye. They have very high DPS, very high burst damage too. They kind of shoot nice and quick. Similarly to big shooters, like when you fight Orc Shootaboys, their damage just comes in quick waves. So LittleHorus now choosing to get himself a Predator on the field. And I feel like if he had had that Predator on the field sooner instead of that Force Commander Terminator armor, he would have been able to push off this Siege Squad advancement right here. So I'm sure we'll be seeing this Chaos Dreadnought getting upgraded to the Mark of Siege as well to deal with this Predator once it hits the field. I think Tex is actually in a pretty good position. He can deal with any of the Space Marine infantry rather easily with these 3 squads of Siege Chaos Marines. And, oh man, Assault Marine Sarge going down very quickly. Another member dropping immediately after, and just still not enough AV to deter this Chaos Dreadnought off the field right now. But that Dread's actually moving a bit too close, I think. Needs to back off. Of course, he doesn't know the Preds coming. And here it is, charging in, trying to engage these Tactical Marines. I don't know if Tex is elsewhere or just knows he's not going to be able to save. Normally, Tex's maneuver is to use the mass teleport to save his Dreadnought once he overextends it. But he must not have seen it or didn't have the opportunity at the time. Now purchasing a squad of Plague Marines to help deal with that, that Predator. Force Commander down bottom, just rolling by himself. Not much can take him out on its own, so being out there on his own, that's really kind of what this map comes down to, is knowing what squads you need to use to cap these points while you battle in the middle, because normally a lot of the action happens in the middle, as we've been seeing this game, but you kind of have to predict and choose, like, okay, scouts are going over here, so I'll send the Sorcerer. Oh, nice use of Warp Fire, and then trying to get the retreat kill on those scouts, but didn't quite hit it in the right path. Just barely saving his Chaos Heretics, and man, LittleHorus just charging in with everything he's got right here. Gonna lose his Assault Space Marines if he's not careful though, underestimating that fire output of those 3 squads of Siege Marines. The Assault Marines go down, Tactical Marines taking severe losses, and man, that's just the ranged DPS output of 3 squads of upgraded Chaos Space Marines. Just completely ignoring that tank, tanking full shots, but just going, knowing that he can do more damage faster than he can take. So a bit of a mistake there from LittleHorus losing those Assault Space Marines. They were fully upgraded, had Sarge and Meltas. That's a big loss for him. Gonna have to see. That might have been an epochal moment of this game, because Tex is losing his lead, but he's now able to deal with just about anything on the field. He's got this crazy huge anti-infantry army built up, and Chaos, in my opinion, has some of the best anti-vehicle options in the game. So Plague Marines are on the field. Had he held on to that Dreadnought, I think that Predator wouldn't be able to really even get anywhere close to the fight right now. And it's great because LittleHorus had to invest in this rocket launcher to take out that Dreadnought, so he's going to have to buy a second weapon. He's going to have to buy Plasma if he wants to be able to compete with these Chaos Space Marines. Really, I think Horus would do great to to get himself a Plasma Devastator or something and really just try to hit these guys from long range after taking this VP. But we're going to have to see how this plays out. Again, this Havoc just hanging out, trying to capture the bottom VP here. The good thing about using this Havoc to cap is that you can then just set it up in this corner, and when scouts come down to decap or anything like that, they're just going to get suppressed and forced off. Predator hanging way back right now, not really sure where to engage. Tex has his entire army cloaked hanging out here in mid. Plague Marines over here, probably expecting that Predator to come over and try to finish off maybe some of these power generators. Unfortunately, he's not watching bottom because there goes the Havoc squad to a couple squads attacks and the Force Commander in his Terminator armor. It looks like Tex is just kind of hanging out, biding his time. Both players sitting on a pretty big pile of resources. I'm not sure if Horus is waiting to bring in some Terminators or another Predator, maybe even, I guess at this point, a Land Raider. Predator comes in. Oh, if Tex had just waited a little bit longer, he might have been able to draw that Predator in. But oh no, here comes a call-in. Assault Terminators on the field. And man, I'm actually not sure if that's a good choice against these 3 squads of Siege Marines. You can see, look at the damage they're doing already. Those Assault Marines can engage one of those squads, but the other 2 are just pouring fire into them, along with the Sorcerer doing some reasonable melee damage with that Rod of Warfire. Scouts trying to engage these Plague Marines. Force Commander teleporting in. Heretics losing models after models. There they go, they're down. Everything is revealed. Plague Marines taking a lot of damage right now. Siege Marines chasing down these Terminators relentlessly. Plague Marines trying to get the kill on this Predator. It's already got its armor upgrade though. Down to 2 members on that. 1 Terminator left. Those Siege Marines chasing it down. I'm not sure if it's going to get into the base in time before they get suppressed. Oh no! Assault Terminator's down already. Although it looks like, yes, it looks like Texaneous' Plague Marines did go down as well. So, 2 expensive squads going down. But those Assault Terminators, that is not how quickly you want to lose them. All they really even did was maybe punch a couple Space Marines, Chaos Marines down. Horus is going to get the Power Bash in and prevent Tex from getting anything too much bigger on the field for the time being. Sorcerer in a lot of trouble as well. Took a shotgun blast to the face. Those Space Marines pulled off. They may have been able to take him out. 88 HP. It would have been close. It would have been worth trying, I feel like. 2-0 Kep against Tex right now. Down to 100 VPs. He needs to get back out on the field right now. Has nothing left but his 3 squads of Chaos Marines and a Chaos Dreadnought, but it is upgraded with the Mark of Siege, so that Predator's going to have to be very cautious approaching the middle of the field. That Predator's kind of just been parked up top, really doesn't need to move. 79 points to 193. Tex in a lot of trouble, needs to get on the field and take these VPs back pretty much right now. If he gets pushed off at this point in the game, he's not coming back. Force Commander still stomping around in his Space Marine Terminator armor. Gonna teleport in here and start trying to melee some guys. But I'm not even sure if he has enough HP to take all this abuse he's about to take from the Dreadnought and these 2 squads of Siege Marines. Tex knows he needs to get the VP. Just using the Sorcerer to get a decap is nothing else. 30 to 193. There goes neutral. Neutral at 29. Buying Tex a little bit of time here to try to turn this around. 1 squad of rocket launchers and a tank on the field. Nice looking mass teleport, but the Sorcerer goes down as soon as he comes in. Those 3 squads of Siege are just obliterating those Tactical Marines. Man, a few models just go down so quick. No Sarge left, I don't think, on either squad either. That Siege Dreadnought doing some serious damage. Another volley of rockets will finish that Predator off if he moves in on it. Looks like it fell out of vision right there, and the Dreadnought stopped, letting loose a frenzied volley right there, trying to get a lucky shot on the Predator. He was firing into the Fog of War, I'm sure. Hurt the Marine army a little bit, and actually slowed them all because he got some suppression down on all of them, buying them probably just enough time to recapture this point, bringing some Plague Marines onto the field while LittleHorus grabs himself a Land Raider. That's going to be a hard thing to break right now. Even with the help of that Chaos Dreadnought and the Plague Marines, the Predator would have been something to take out, but that Land Raider might be too much for Tex to deal with right now. So we're going to have to see how this goes. Tex bringing it back, though, with a 3-0 cap, turning it right around on LittleHorus. Tactical Marines coming down bottom, snagging this outer VP right here. And the Force Commander over on the top side doing the same thing. Plague Marines trying to scare off this Predator, just charging right in here. One lone Tactical Marine left. LittleHorus has plenty of requisition to reinforce those. I'm not sure what he's not possibly saving up for maybe some more Terminators. He does have the red for it. Tax forced off bottom, losing 2 more members to those Siege Marines right there. And now the Land Raider is on the field. Plague Marine's not going to be able to stand up against all that right now. And the Dreadnought's going to have to fall back as it is a bit injured as well. So Force Commander just not quite able to hold out over here. Tex buying just enough time. 28 to 117. Still anyone's game, really. Both players have lost a couple big squads. Predator trying to force off the Siege Marines on the top side of the map on that VP over there. Tex just barely holding on and keeping any points from ticking off so far. VPs are now neutral once again, drawing out these last few moments of the game into several minutes. Oh man, and that last Space Marine goes down. That was the one squad Horus had not reinforced, I think. Just sent them right back down, did not know that there were going to be Siege Marines waiting. And when there's just one member left in the squad, it's going to go down really quick. Land Raider taking a lot of attrition by trying to engage these Plague Marines. I'm not sure why he's doing that. He needs to keep that thing healthy. It's got plenty of HP, but there are 2 powerful anti-vehicle squads on the field. Oh, it looks like here comes another mass teleport and a nice play. Bloodletter's getting spawned behind the Predator as well. Plague Marine shot and some Siege missiles doing some nasty damage to that thing. If those Bloodletters get off a couple more swings, it looks like that Predator is going to escape for the time being, though. Tex went all in trying to take that Predator out, and now the Land Raider's spinning back around and going to try to engage this rear force over here. I'm not sure what LittleHorus, he's got 900 requisition. I'm not sure why he's not reinforcing these Marines yet. He's got 100 VPs, but that's not going to last too long. This Land Raider's taking tons of fire. I'm not sure why it's moving forward. Taking tons of damage from both the Siege Dreadnought and those Plague Marines. The machinations of Tex's sorcery maneuvers here in full effect. Obliterating that Land Raider, now exposing the Tactical Marines inside to a volley of Siege fire. He's in green cover, but he needs to get out of there. Oh no, and down he goes. LittleHorus down to just a squad of scouts as Predator and this new squad of Assault Terminators. Again, I'm not sure if Assault Terminators are even what he wanted. He probably would have wanted some ranged Terminators at this point in the game, but it looks like they are going to be able to finish off this Chaos Dreadnought. Oh no, but he brought his Predator in just a bit too soon. The Plague Marines and one last volley of those Siege Dreadnought rockets finish that Predator off. Once again, a lot of just change in hands of these VPs. Sorcerer watching vigilantly over that northern VP. And man, just look at these Assault Terminators just taking tons and tons of damage from these Siege Bolters. Plague Marines just trying what they can to slow them down and stay on them. Down to 500 HP. One member goes down. These Assault Terminators aren't getting out of here unless they teleport right now. 2-0 cap for Tex. If these Assault Terminators go down, that's going to be it for Horus. There is just no way he's coming back. All he's going to have left is his scouts and his Force Commander. Just a little bit of a sloppy ending here. Had Tex on the rope. 10 VPs. He just got... Oh man, there goes a nice win for Horus, though. Gets a punch in the face to finish off that Chaos Sorcerer, clotheslined him on retreat with that Power Fist. Blood letters on the field now for Tex as well. And I guess LittleHorus just giving up on the game at this point, has tons of resource but not really doing anything with it. Maybe saving up. He does have enough resource for... oh, he did purchase something right now. I'm not sure what it is. But looking like Tex has this one. 31-10. LittleHorus just getting a little too antsy to get those last VPs ticked off, and lost the majority of his army, down to just his scouts and his hero, unfortunately. Despite Tex starting out a little behind on this game, he managed to come out swinging hard. There's the GG. Oh, that's actually from Tex, but he knows that there's no way that Horus can capture anything in time. LittleHorus drops the GG as well, and that's the game. So, man, just a bunch of ruined vehicles, 2 Dreadnoughts down, a Land Raider, a Predator, a drop pod here reinforcing the scouts even at the end. But excellent play by Tex, bringing that back by the skin of his teeth by some excellent chaos play. That Sorcerer teleport bringing everything over to this side of the map and then swinging around to eliminate those vehicles. Very nice indeed. Anyways, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Red-Rupee. I will catch you guys next time.